What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. This is episode 9, where I'm going to be talking to myself about gossip. Gossip is a topic that does infuriate me quite a lot, but it seems to be a big, most occurring thing in society, and seems to be deemed as normalized now. Quite frankly, I don't know how it's come to this, but firstly, I will say that gossip is a way for people to connect amongst each other. So by talking about someone else, generally speaking, it's not in a good way, but it's more relatable. So if one person's talking about another person within the group and other people join in, they can all relate to each other and they've got that thing in common. The thing that bugs me about this, it firstly doesn't contribute anything to society or to life in general. I see it as absolutely pointless, a waste of time. And my view on it is the people that are gossiping generally have nothing else to do with their lives. Like, if you had something useful to be doing, you wouldn't even have time to be talking about people, talking about what they're doing and belittling them. So that is the way I see, unfortunately, a lot of society. And there's very much a sheep herd mentality. A lot of people won't, if someone is gossiping about someone else, very few people will stand up against it or refuse to take part in it because they want to conform and fit in with the group. It goes back to, obviously the caveman days where if you didn't fit in the group and you got kicked out, you would not be able to survive. And as I said in a previous video, survival for us now is fitting into a group within a social context, social environment. So this is obviously, as I mentioned before as well, to be fair, a lot of people don't want to be alone and cast out. So the only thing to do, if the majority of the group is gossiping, belittling someone behind their back, or even to their face, the only thing to do then would be to fit in and join the crowd. So ultimately, you could argue in one sense it's not everyone's fault because they just want to fit in and, have their own little tribe. On the flip side of that, I do believe in standing in your true authentic voice and speaking your truth. If people were to just not play along with it, if someone started gossiping and the rest of the group just said, you know what, no, I disagree, stop doing this. Let's either speak positively about someone, give constructive feedback, or just don't speak about them at all. Then gossip ultimately would not have any place. It wouldn't be able to function and continue. There is another part to this as well. I think a lot of people get a kick out of it. A lot of people would rather obviously talk about someone else or belittle them because A, it takes the attention off of them. It takes the attention off of their insecurities, their flaws, so it's being projected onto someone else. So therefore they feel safe in this environment now because they can't be, kicked out of the tribe or shamed. So someone else is taking the brunt of it. But deep down, they are still insecure, which is why they're doing the gossiping. It's often insecure people that don't have nothing to do, which are doing the gossiping because they don't want to look and heal themselves from within. So ultimately, I guess the only way to change something like this is to act and lead by example. Easier said than done, particularly if there's a group of, say, 10 people and only one of those people is not partaking in that. You're going to be frowned upon within that group. But ultimately, do you want to be in a group that's, spreading negativity, toxicity? In my personal opinion, I'd rather be alone than being surrounded by people that I don't even have anything in common with, that are just spreading that negativity and hate upon other people. That's why I think there's a lot of group sheep mentality. No one speaks up for themselves, and only very few people do actually just exit from a group setting like that and take their own path. Taking your own path actually is a very, very powerful thing. That is how you discover yourself. You do the work within by not following what anyone else is saying. You can actually observe your own thoughts. test things out for yourself, experience them directly, because there's no one there to tell you what you should do or what they think of you or judge you based off that. So a suggestion would obviously be to do things alone, not being reliant on a group. But I also think gossip is also a test for those that don't want to partake in it. It's all good saying we dislike gossip, but do you still consciously choose to go back in a group daily, weekly, whatever it may be, and interact with those people and be surrounded by them the majority of your time? Because ultimately, if you are still doing this, you are still partaking and feeding that gossip with the attention and energy that it wants. Obviously, there's some cases if you're living with someone, it's difficult to, withdraw from that sort of stuff. But you can still set boundaries to the best of your ability. You can perhaps spend less time with that person. You might spend time outdoors more. You can have a chat with them. In some cases, you can even leave the house and move somewhere else. But obviously, I'm aware this is not possible for everyone, but this is just an overview, so to speak. But if you're in the case where you can simply walk away from it, but you're consciously choosing to go back to an environment that's spreading this gossip and hate, then ultimately you are part of the problem. I know a lot of people do this because, they say, I know this person for many years, or family, or whatever it may be. But you have to ask yourself, why are you hanging out with these people? Is this the life you want to live? Why do you care about their opinions? And a lot of people just do not want to do this. They'd rather settle for the comfort and go along with the crowd than make a change. Making a change is the one thing that needs to be done, but is also the one thing that people don't want to do for comfort reasons. Gossip as well is devil's language. As I said, nothing good comes out of it. There can be the case of, say, Chinese whispers where people misinterpret a message or add their own version of the message, and before you know it, something has been completely distorted and people are believing a thing that is not even true. So in summary, I would say for those that are involved in an environment they don't want to be in and don't like gossip, make an effort to set boundaries, move away from that environment. If you are someone that's involved in gossip and you're listening to this, take a look within yourself and stop spreading the negativity, which you're probably not going to do because you like the gossip. But anyway, you know what you do and you're just not going to do it. And lastly, start doing stuff by yourself. Don't be reliant on a group or join into group think. So what I mean by that is think critically, analyze things. If you hear something from someone else that seems like it's a rumour, wait till you hear both sides of the story or think, could this be true? What evidence do I have? Start thinking for yourself rather than blindly going along with things you've heard and contributing blindly to things that you don't agree with. Thank you and have a wonderful day.